Hello, it's Miss Saxon, and you may be looking at me and thinking I don't look like Miss Saxon. I look like Athena, or Diana the Huntress, or maybe Aphrodite, or some other Greek goddess. But I just thought I would kind of get in the spirit and dress up a bit, because I'm going to read you a story that has some of those characters from Greek mythology, and it talks about a really important legend and an important figure named Zeus. So I hope you enjoy the story, and I hope that you can see in mythology a lot of the stories are really sort of foundation stories, that lots of different stories in literature have some of the same themes. The theme of the hero, and there's lots of Greek myths that are really interesting, and I hope you enjoy them, and I hope you enjoy some of the gods are not exactly the best type of characters. You'll see different character flaws in the characters, and I think it's just very interesting to learn about, and I hope you enjoy my story. YoungZeus by G. Brian Karras. Some of the characters in the story include Zeus, the young god; Gaia, Zeus's grandmother, who represents the earth; Uranus, Zeus's grandfather, or the sky; Rhea, Zeus's mother, a titan; and Cronus, Zeus's father, another titan. We also have the rest of the titans: the Cyclops, the 100-handers, Hera, Demeter, Hestia, Hades, Poseidon, that are all Zeus's brothers and sisters, and Almathea, the enchanted she-goat. On a night long, long ago, Rhea gave her baby Zeus to Amalthea, the enchanted she-goat who lived in a cave on the peaceful island of Crete. "Please care for my son," Rhea whispered. "Keep him safe, hidden from his evil father Cronus." "Of course," said Almathea. With a hug and a kiss for her baby boy, Rhea said goodbye, afraid she might never see young Zeus again. On Crete, Zeus lived in golden sunshine, friend of beasts and birds, unaware of the danger should his father discover him. One evening, when Zeus was no bigger than an oak tree, he asked, "Amy, why are there no other goats to play with?" "It's complicated," said Almathea. "Sit down and have some milk and honey. The trouble started with your grandfather Uranus. He and your grandmother Gaia had many children. 12 were magnificent giants, the Titans. They were your grandfather's pride and joy. But 6 were monsters. 3 of them, the Cyclops, had only 1 eye, and 3, the 100-handers, had 50 heads and 100 arms. Your grandfather was so ashamed of these children that he locked them in the underworld forever. Your grandmother was furious. "Cronus, my son," she commanded, "cast your father from his throne." She handed him a sickle. "Then free the Cyclops and the 100-handers from the underworld." Cronus banished his father to the bottom of the sea, but he didn't complete his task. No, he did not. He left the Cyclops and the 100-handers to suffer in the underworld and took the throne for himself. By then, Cronus was so powerful that your grandmother couldn't get him to do anything. Still, Cronus had one weakness: the fear of being overthrown by one of his own children. To make sure that that never happened, he ate up all his babies. He swallowed them whole, and there your sisters and brothers remain, trapped in his belly. "And that's why there are no other gods or goddesses for you to play with," said Almathea. But, began Zeus. "No buts. Just goodnight kisses and sweet dreams." Years went by. Zeus grew strong and happy, but also troubled by dark thoughts of his cruel father, Cronus. Zeus knew one thing for sure: he had to free his brothers and sisters. But how? As often as possible, Zeus's mother, Rhea, secretly visited to check on him. On one such day, Rhea and Almathea were talking when a rumble as mighty as 10 earthquakes shook the ground. In a terrible mood, Zeus had lifted up a mountaintop and thrown it into the sea. "Heavens," said Rhea. "It's time Zeus and I have a talk." "Who are you?" "I'm your mother," said Rhea. "Give me a hug." Zeus did not hug his mother. "You missed all my birthdays," said Zeus. "I was here for everyone," said Rhea. "You just couldn't see me." Zeus thought for a moment, and then asked the question that had been on his mind for so long. Why did my father swallow me? Because I outsmarted him. When you were born, I wrapped a stone in a blanket and said, "Here is your son." Your father grabbed the bundle and swallowed it whole. He still thinks it's you. But Zeus did not hug his mother. "You missed all of my birthdays," said Zeus. "I was here for every one," said Rhea. "You just couldn't see me." Zeus thought for a moment, and then he asked the question that had been long on his mind. Why didn't my father swallow me? Because I outsmarted him. When you were bored, I wrapped a stone in your blanket and said, "Here is your son." Your father grabbed the bundle and swallowed it whole. He still thinks it's you in his belly. In the dark of night, Zeus set out to find his father. "Before you go, take this honey," said Almathea. "And remember," Rhea warned, "keep your eye on Cronus. He's a sneak, and so are his brothers and sisters, the Titan. If they find out what you're up to, they'll be boiling mad." Zeus wandered through strange mist and unfamiliar lands. Fearful thoughts crept into his mind. What if the potion doesn't work? What if Cronus finds me before I find him? What if he tries to eat me? Just then, Zeus heard rumbling. He smelled something bad. The fog lifted, and there lay Cronus, asleep. Without a moment to lose, Zeus poured the foul brew down his father's throat, and as he did, he sang a song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You swallowed my brothers and sisters alive. Now drink this sup and set them free, for I am Zeus, and you didn't need me. At once, a deadly grip locked around Zeus's neck. He choked and wheezed. The potion had failed. Suddenly, the ground trembled and Cronus belched. Out came the stone and the blanket. Then out came Zeus's brothers and sisters, looking surprisingly good. 5 gods and goddesses of radiant beauty. "I'm Zeus, your brother," said the victorious young god. "Let's play." "Yes," said his brothers and sisters, "but first things first." And they pounced on Cronus. "Take that," they cried, and they threw him into the sea. The gods and goddesses embraced Zeus. "I am Hestia, your oldest sister, so I'm in charge." "I am Demeter, your next oldest sister, and no, she is not." "Ignore them. I'm Poseidon, your oldest brother, and therefore the supreme ruler." "And I am Hestia, your next oldest brother, and I'm Hera, youngest sister, but I'm still older than you." The gods and goddesses bickered, unaware of a towering shadow darkening the land. 10 giants filled the sky. Zeus remembered his mother's warning. The Titans! Stop arguing and let's get them!" But no one listened to Zeus. "Look at the mess you got us into," yelled Hestia. "You started it," snapped Demeter. Poseidon and Hades growled at each other, and Hera bossed Zeus around. All seemed lost, and Zeus heard a voice from the earth beneath his feet. "Zeus, it's your grandmother Gaia. If you can free the Cyclops and 100-handers from the underworld, they will help you. Quick, go!" Zeus traveled down, 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 through 3 layers of night, to below, to the very bottom of the earth, and in the gloom found the underworld. Dragon watched the prisoners. "What's this? A sweet, meaty treat," she said to Zeus. Zeus came up with a song. "Dragon, dragon, fearsome beast, don't eat me, I'm no feast. If sweet is what you like to eat, have some honey, yum, yum, yummy." Well, this dragon did have a sweet tooth, and she slurped, and Zeus tiptoed towards the gates. "Cyclops and 100-handers, I'm your nephew Zeus, here to set you free." He flung open the gates. "Hail Zeus," they wept with joy. "Dear uncles, join me in battle with the Titans." "Say no more," they cried. "To war!" The Cyclops gave Zeus a bundle of thunderbolts, a gift for mighty Zeus. They cheered and off they flew. Gods and goddesses were almost done by the time Zeus returned. "What took so long?" cried Hestia. "What's the use?" wailed Demeter. "All is lost." "You're always so negative," said Poseidon. "You're always so critical," said Hades. Zeus, cried Hera, do something! From the highest mountaintop, Zeus hurled bolt after bolt of his mighty lightning at the Titans. Go away! Let us play, he thundered. The earth quaked. The sky was on fire. Bolt after bolt rained upon the Titans. At last, all fell silent. Zeus sighed with a sigh that filled the land. The battle was over. The defeated Titans were cast into the underworld. Thank heavens, Gaia's voice rang from the scorched earth. To the Cyclops and the 100-handers she commanded, live where you wish. To the gods and goddesses she said, go home to Mount Olympus. And they did. Right from the start, there was disagreement. Play first, chores later, said Hestia. Chores first, then play, said Demeter. No, no, said Poseidon. Yes, yes, said Hades. I'm hungry, said Hera. Enough, shouted Zeus. From now on, we do things my way. Who made you the boss? They all yelled. I did, said Zeus. And the earth grumbled. Gaia spoke. Listen to your brother. It was settled. Young Zeus became the ruler of heaven and earth. He divided up the chores and scheduled playtimes. His mother Rhea was so proud, and thus began fun and order on Mount Olympus. So ends the tale of how young Zeus became ruler of all. With his family by his side, he reigned supreme for ages to come.